So you can all join me. Welcome. If you can find your places to sit. I know we're so excited to be here and see each other. So let's start again. I want everybody singing. Let's start together, end this Shabbat together, and start this Havdalah together again. Shavua Tov. I want to invite Reb Moshe's grandchildren who just arrived. Do you think they'll join me for the candles here? Brina, would you guys come help with the candles? You're the kids. You can hold it with the kids, maybe. Ariel, would you help me with the other candle here? No? Okay. Two of the teenagers in the back. Here, perfect.
They're coming.
Okay. Beautiful. Please rise as you are able for Havdalah.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noam and Noah and Rav Claudia. This feels vaguely familiar,
Yeah,
Sue.
it does. It's been a while. I'm Sue Kahn.
And I'm Sarah Smollover. And alongside Molly Silver, we are your co-chairs for the evening. Wow. We're never going to get through this if they applaud
too early to
every
applaud.
minute.
Yeah.
We're excited, so excited to celebrate this milestone in Reb Moshe's life, which is also a milestone for TBZ. As you can see by the turnout tonight and all the people on Zoom, you mean so much to us, and we all want to mark this special occasion together.
So welcome to everybody in the room, Reb Moshe and your family, and members new and old, and friends of TBZ, and of course those watching on Zoom. And know that the program tonight is being shared with those, so Mike will have shared so you know what's going to be going on. And you can add things into the chat, and Reb Moshe will get a copy of it. And as befitting Reb Moshe's stature, this will be a totally serious and meditative evening.
Hey, Sue, did you hear this one?
Tell me.
3 young boys were walking on the sidewalk arguing over whose daddy was the greatest. David said, "My dad's the greatest because he's a rich stockbroker on Wall Street." Michael said, "That's nothing. My daddy's a politician, and he says he's the most powerful man around." Shmuley said, "That's nothing. My dad is a rabbi, and he owns hell." "How can you own hell?" asked the other boys. "Well, my dad came home last night and told my mom that the shul board really gave it to him."
That was good.
Yeah, okay.
As Reb Moshe has often said with some pride, doors don't slam at board meetings here at TBZ. Reb Moshe had a vision that TBZ would create a new and sustainable future for congregational Judaism. Intentional in its actions, authentic in its relationships, and with an expansive approach to prayer and joyful worship. Lay leaders worked alongside Reb Moshe to realize this unique vision, ensuring that it could grow and evolve with humor, joy, deep commitment, and love. So we'd like to ask all of the past presidents, and I believe that almost everyone is here, we want to recognize them. I do want to say, unfortunately, Erwin is not feeling well and unable to be here tonight, really TBZ's first president, but hopefully he's with us on Zoom. But would all the other past presidents here tonight please stand? I know there's... And Can all the current and former board members please rise as well? Thank you.
Thank you. As we all know, the most important step Reb Moshe took in ensuring TBZ's future was in bringing Rav Claudia into our midst over 17 years ago. She has been his partner and now his successor in leading TBZ into an exciting and dynamic future, building upon the strong foundation that Reb Moshe created. We're pleased to invite Rav Claudia to say a few words, or maybe more than a few, in honor of Reb Moshe tonight.
It is just so wonderful to be with all of you to celebrate Reb Moshe in this important transition, but I am going to speak to Reb Moshe, so all of you here, pardon me for directing my words to him. Okay, Reb Moshe, so I'm talking to you. First of all, Mazal Tov, Reb Moshe. You have accomplished so much during your life and career as a rabbi, and especially as the spiritual leader of this community. In the program, we can read some of the story of Temple Bet Zion, both before and following your arrival and the revitalization of TBZ, and I'm looking forward to hearing your words on this incredible journey and hearing from you about your vision and your legacy, because none of us would be here without you and your vision for what TBZ could be. And I want to share with you my deep gratitude for bringing me along into this journey. First of all, thank you for inviting me to lead High Holidays in the fall of 2006. I remember meeting with you several times in the back of the sanctuary at the tables we used to have there, where we have now our tech corner, and opening the Machzor and going over all the prayers. We sang together, we made up some tunes, and we mostly laughed a lot. I do remember the first service of Rosh Hashanah, as I was leading Mariv with you. I remember thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. But you supported me and helped me, and most importantly, allowed me to be me and bring my own Torah and my own melodies to those high holidays. What many people don't know is what happened at Ne'ilah. Remember? As we were finishing Ne'ilah and lighting the Havdalah candle, you leaned into me and said quietly, "So when are you leaving your job at JCDS and coming to work with me?" You did take me by surprise. I was speechless. And after Yom Kippur, you called me and shared that you would love it if I would join you in leading TBZ as assistant rabbi. For the next few months, we met several times and discussed what that would look like. And by the winter, I was signing my first contract with TBZ. So thank you, Reb Moshe, for that invitation and for believing in me from the beginning. When I started full-time at TBZ in the summer of 2007, we spoke a lot about my role. You were adamant that even though a central part of my job was to imagine and build up the program for families, then called Yeladim, you wanted me to be a full partner with you. And I'm incredibly grateful to you for that. Your generosity allowed me to grow as a rabbi, to try new things, to do things usually assistant rabbis don't do. You genuinely and generously shared the bima with me and helped me through my first funerals, baby namings, Shiva Minyanim, Bnei Mitzvah, and everything in between. So thank you, Reb Moshe, for your generosity and for opening the fullness of this community to me. And I can go on and share so many stories. But mostly I want to say thank you. Thank you for your vision, for your Torah, for revitalizing Temple Bet Zion as it changed into TBZ, a congregation that is one of a kind. And you know, you are one of a kind. And some may say, I am one of a kind. So here we are. We do have a one-of-a-kind congregation, unorthodox, as you have always called TBZ. and your unorthodox leadership brought us to this moment. And I'm humbled to be the one continuing to build this intentional and joyful community. Reb Moshe, we have laughed a lot. We have sung a lot. We have also cried a fair amount and also challenged each other. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your vision, for your leadership. My blessing to you and to your dear family for many years of joy and health and celebration. May you go from strength to strength. And I want to invite you, Reb Moshe, here, so I want to bless you with a priestly blessing. You have blessed so many of us with a priestly blessing, and I want to bless you. I invite you all to rise and put your hands up and join me blessing Reb Moshe. Yevarechecha Adonai veishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha vichoneka. Hisa Adonai panav elecha veyasem lecha shalom. Mazal tov.
Thank you, Rev. Claudia. I do want to extend a special greeting to our latecomer, Erwin and Gloria.
We're going to stand.
So glad you could join us. We wouldn't be having this evening of saying farewell if you hadn't said, come on in and change this place for the better. So Reb Moshe, you know you mean so much to so many people. Some people were pioneers on this experimental journey with you and have accompanied you since the early days of TBZ. Before we hear from a few of them, could those of you here tonight who have been connected to TBZ for 20 years or more please rise?
Wow.
Wow, that is something. Thank you. So nice to see some really old friends who haven't been here in a while. So we're delighted to introduce 4 of these pioneers to share some special words of blessing with Reb Moshe. We're going to introduce them all, and then they'll come up in succession. So first, Myra Musicant and Howard Cohen. They studied with Moshe before he was ordained. Got involved early with his Nishmat Chaim minyan. And then when he said there's this Beth Zion opportunity, they said, all right, let's do it. And thus began their journey. Myra and Howard have been stakeholders, advisors, leaders, and truly essential to the growth of TBZ.
Next person who will be speaking is Priscilla Stein. Priscilla has contributed so much time and energy to TBZ, including as a board member with synagogue practices, and most impactfully, her leadership of Hesed and the bereavement program. Reb Moshe has made an important, meaningful difference in her life, teaching her what it means to be Jewish and how to understand and implement Jewish values in every aspect of her life. And Priscilla will be followed by Gary Cohen. In 1998, Gary's friend from the Cambridge Zen Center gave Gary a copy of The Jew in the Lotus, which chronicles the story of rabbis and Jewish scholars, including then Professor Moshe Waldoks, making a holy pilgrimage through India to meet with the Dalai Lama. Curious, Gary visited Temple Beth Zion and met its new and newly ordained rabbi, Reb Moshe. Gary has been a TBZ member and considers Reb Moshe his teacher since that very first meeting.
We invite you to come up.
Moshe, 25 years ago, you committed yourself to bringing a new community to life in this building. It started with some simple physical steps. You came down from the bima, and we came out of the pews. We circled each other with you in the middle of the community. We prayed and sang together. We were looking for a synagogue community that was informal, flexible, experimental, and left space for contemplation and reflection. Most of all, we were looking for a community that was enthusiastic about being Jewish. You gave us, all of you, and taught us that being Jewish was not an obligation, but a privilege. But you're also there when we were in despair. I believe I was with you on your first rabbinic visit to the side of a deathbed when our dear friend Herman passed away. May you continue as an inspiration to us until the age of 120, give or take a few years.
And Moshe, my connection to you goes back to when our children were at Solomon Schechter. And I happened to attend an evening learning session that you gave on the Siddur. And for me, it opened my eyes to a part of the liturgy that was not part of my upbringing. My learning in Judaism had been academic and not synagogue-based. And it just was such a clear explanation of the Siddur that I came away thinking, this guy has something to teach me. And we studied with you with some other Schechter parents for years. And when you became a rabbi, we were part of the founding core of the Nishmat Chaim Minyan, or whatever we called it. And we were meeting monthly at Boston College. And then, there you are, Erwin, former Temple Bet Zion president, met Reb Moshe at a bar mitzvah here at the synagogue and had the foresight, the wisdom to reach out and ask you to be the part-time rabbi at Temple Bet Zion. And that began the journey. We got involved in the synagogue because we followed you here and took on leadership roles and were thrilled to see how the community attracted others who were looking for the same experience. My blessing to you as you move on to your next phase is that you continue to take pleasure and pride in this community, many people like us that you have touched so deeply. May you continue to enrich people's relationship to Judaism through your deep learning, teaching, and wonderful humor. These things I have always appreciated in you. Deep connection to our traditions without taking ourselves too seriously. A winning combination. And echoing Rav Claudia, may you go from strength to strength.
Cry. No. The first time I ever met you was when you taught a course on Jewish renewal at Temple Beth Avoda. You walked in exuding vitality with a twinkle in your eye. You faced the class with a broad smile, crossed your hands across your chest, looked directly at us and said, "My goal is to teach Jews that Judaism is relevant to our lives." Wow, I thought, this is what I've been looking for. Reb Moshe, you succeeded. You went on to say, "I want to teach Jews that Judaism is way more about the joys than the oys." You innovated services here which were fully participatory and lightened our souls. Reb Moshe, you succeeded. When Jeff and I moved to TBZ in 2002, you invited me to help build the Hesed community here, program here. When we met, you again looked me in the eye and said, "My goal here is to create a caring, conscious community." Look around you, Reb Moshe. Look around. You succeeded. I was part of a weekly women's study group for over 12 years. We had the creme de la creme of Jewish teachers in the Boston area. This experience helped me to understand my heritage, but it was you, Reb Moshe, who taught me to love and embrace and intentionally live my Jewish identity. I can never thank you enough. You made me and Jeff want to come to shul every week, and we loved it. And we felt like we really, really belonged here. When life presented me with challenges that caused me to feel lost, you taught me through Torah and text study how to find guidance and support from wisdom passed down from our ancestors. No one has ever been able to transmit to me the immediacy and profundity of Judaism the way you can. When I knocked on your door, you always opened it. You envisioned a novel type of community, and you devoted yourself to bringing this vision to reality. Yours was a true labor of love, and emotional, intellectual, physical, and spiritual stamina, which required years of attention, care, thought, and sacrifice on your part, as well as your families. Thank you so much for your perseverance and endurance. Your leadership, energy, and creativity made it possible for so many of us seekers to find an authentic spiritual home. For all this and so much more, we love you, we respect you, and we feel the deepest gratitude towards you. Now, you told me that you don't want this to be a eulogy, so I'll stop here. Although I've left so much unsaid, my assignment is to bless you. I've taken the liberty of adapting a blessing written by Naomi Levy. May God watch over you and shield you from harm. May God bless your body with health and your soul with joy. May your newly found freedom bring you great pleasure and deep satisfaction. May you continue to spread your kindness, wisdom, and presence upon us for many years to come. May your work here continue to flourish in your absence, and it has and it will, under our dear Rav Claudia, in whom you recognized early on her unique capacity, spirit, and vision to lead our beloved community into the future. May all your prayers be answered. Amen.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. Those were the first words I heard you chant, Reb Moshe, at a Kabbalat Shabbat service here in 1998, when increasing numbers of spiritual seekers began flocking to your experimental Friday evening services. What's going on over at Temple Beth Zion? Uninitiated friends would ask. Is Rabbi Waldach's neo-Hasidic? Is he Buddhist? Is the temple conservative? Is it Jewish renewal? You heard Rav Claudia use the word. It's what we said. We said, it's unorthodox. That was our playful answer. Reb Moshe is funny and intellectual. He's boisterous and contemplative. He makes us think. He makes us think, yet somehow he's getting us out of our heads. He's helping each of us connect with the Holy One of Blessing in whatever ways we recognize that presence, not only with our minds and hearts, but from what's that Yiddish word you used? From our kishkis, yeah. There's an old-fashioned tradition of giving a retiree an engraved gold watch to express the sentiment, you gave us your time, now we're giving time to you. I'm told we have a different parting gift for you tonight. But had we given you a retirement watch, Reb Moshe, what would we have engraved on the back? How about this? We've heard you say this to us literally thousands of times during your 25 plus years at TBZ. Watch, everyone here will know it. Help me. Wherever you've been, you're no longer there. Wherever you're going, you're not there yet. Just be here now. Huh? We've been paying attention. Whether we've been here now at TBZ for 1 year or 25, we've all had more joy and less oi because of you, Reb Moshe. Your leadership of the TBZ Research and Development Department for the creation of better Jewish humans surely has magnified and sanctified Yah, Baruch Hashem, and is an enduring credit to your legacy. And so we pray from our kishkis, right? From our kishkis to that Holy One of Blessing whose presence fills creation. May you, Reb Moshe, find rest and new purpose, quiet and new adventures, silence and new music that emerges from that silence, good health, good humor, and many more years for your ongoing holy tour of duty, all alongside your beloved wife, our cherished friend, Anne, and your loving family, devoted students, and friends. Thank you and blessings, Harav Moshe Waldach's Shlita, Yasher Koach, sei gesund. Let us all say, Amen, Amen, Amen. Friends, I've been asked to welcome Reb Moshe to the Bima. I really tried to compose a dignified introduction, but you can come up. I just somehow kept thinking about the Blues Brothers movie. You know, the scene where Jake and Elwood, who you'll remember were on a mission from God to save an imperiled religious institution, are introduced to the Palace Hotel Ballroom audience. Anyway, I Googled the script. Here it is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is management's distinct pleasure to present to you this evening's star attraction. He is back after his exclusive 3-year tour of Europe, Scandinavia, and the subcontinent. Won't you welcome from Calumet City, Illinois, all right, via Toledo, Ohio, Brooklyn, Jerusalem, Dharmasala, and Newton, TBZ's founding rabbi, Reb Moshe.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. The hardest part of my rabbinic career was finding the right Kol Nidre joke. It became a custom here that I would do a Kol Nidre joke. Now, why was it the hardest part? Right after Shavuos, rabbis start thinking about Rosh Hashanah, right? And the reason that it took us such a long time is you had to find a joke that would lead to the sermon. And you know, no one would remember the sermon, but if you pick the right joke, I see, that's what the rabbi was saying. And chances of that joke being shared around the table were far greater than many of the points I've made in my sermons. So yes, humor was an important part. Humor opens the heart. I believe that if you can open the heart, there's a chance to put something in it. And I think that one of the real appeals of TBC in the old days was exactly that people could laugh in shul. I had one older gentleman who was part of the older group before, who said, you guys are too happy. I've never been in shul, and and people are clapping and they're happy. So I sent him to another shul where he wouldn't have that problem. And it wasn't hard to find that shul, I must say. But this is an evening not only of receiving thanks, but of giving thanks. And first of all, let me thank Anne, my partner for close to 50 years. She's the linchpin. She's the linchpin to whatever I accomplished throughout our lives together. She has supported me in so many ways and continues to do so. And she puts up with my growing curmudgeonly contrariness. She's truly a spiritual healer in our lives, as well as in her profession. Annie, I love you. Thanks to my 3 daughters, 2 are here, and Risa, who's online, with Ira and the whole family in Pennsylvania. Glad that you were able to join us, at least online. I want to thank them for their love and their challenges. And they are wonderful beyond words, and they're always interesting. And they are by nature dedicated to improving the world as much as they can. Shula, Brina, Risa, sons-in-law, Ian and Ira, you fill me with pride. Ich mamish shep nachas. And I'm also enormously thankful for the opportunity of living to this day, so I may be able to play with our grandchildren who have disappeared into the upstairs. And it's really mamish, a fantastic thing to be a grandparent for many of you who aren't. If you're not, become somebody's grandparent. It doesn't have to be your own. It's really good. I enjoy being a Zeta, and I am blessed that I have reached that possibility, which many people don't get. So I want to say the Shechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, Shechianu v'kimanu v'higianu zman hazeh. I want to thank my parents, Yidel, Little Yehuda, that's what Yidel means, Little Yehuda, Little Jew, that's what it really means. And Bronya, my mother, for being a connection to the pre-World War II Eastern Europe and to the memory of their families who were annihilated, Aleichem Ashalom. So what motivated my life's journey? And I regret that I didn't talk more about this in shul, but I have an opportunity now. I was born in the United States, but raised in a kind of New York version of Poland, surrounded by Shoah survivors. School was taught in Yiddish by survivor teachers. And even though I was surrounded by tales of the living dead, who still visit me, by the way, still do. I was surrounded by all of these things, but also by people who wanted to repair this gargantuan breach to someone in entirely different circumstances to continue what was before. Many of them were teenagers during the horrors. Strong enough to work, they survived. Each one of them who was saved mainly by luck. And they brought with them childhood memories of large, extended families, heimische mishpuches, who would gather for Shabbosim and Yom Tovim. And growing up, some of the Yom Tovim were especially tough for my mom. The Pesach Seder, for instance, was very hard. It was especially hard because she had been a slave. Imagine sitting at your Seder with an actual slave. She had survived a labor camp. So we had to program when she cried because there was a lot of crying going on. So eventually we programmed it. We expected there would be tears. And these celebrations of life conjured up memories, tears, and treasures of family and friends who have never aged. Memories of childhood in a world that forgets. And with the exception, these circles were not pious. They certainly weren't orthodox by today's orthodoxy and its self-imposed stringencies. They were durchgeweht mit Yiddishkeit. They were soaked through in Yiddishkeit. They were what I call organic Jews. Very important, organic Jews. Some were apostates, despising God but going to shul to commemorate a yahrzeit, even if they never went on Shabbos. Some were traditionally observant, both the faithful and the faithless. I felt great attraction to those who may have despised God, but were still Jews. Ayid halsoch v'ayid. A Jew acts as a Jew. And they were Jews, they weren't Jewish. A Jew lives as a Jew should. Ayid firzoch v'ayid. And this is what I saw in TBZ. The possibility of raising a garden of organic Jews. And in all the years of TBZ, I never preached piety. I preached Yiddishkeit. A Yiddishkeit that leads, of course, to the goal, Menschlichkeit, to be a human being, a mensch. And I hope TBZ would create a vessel, a place to find yourself, as I called it back then. It's still a good phrase. TBZ is a place to find yourself. Many found a home in TBZ. And one of my greatest joys is seeing all the lifelong friendships that have emerged from our being together in community. Now, my father was not a great Talmid Chacham by any means, but he was a graduate of the traditional Cheder, with all its pluses and minuses. He left Cheder, and it's something we all strive for, a literate Jew. Imagine, a literate Jew. And when he came to this country and he encountered American Jews in Toledo, Ohio, where I was born, 2 weeks after my parents' arrival in New York in 1949, he was struck by how far these American Jews that he met were far from their traditional roots. And after moving to New York with enormous insistence of my mother, I was enrolled in a Yiddish-speaking cheder and later in a Yiddish yeshiva katana, which was established to give survivor teachers, Rebbis, who spoke no English, an opportunity to pass on their learning to us. And we didn't always appreciate them as we should. Over the years, I have tripped over the stumbling stones of Jewish history. As Jacob stumbled into Bethel, dreamed a dream, and awoke to see the splendor all around him. As I stumble, I take care not to stub my toes. But the story of Jews is not flat. It is marked by jagged, edged stones. And I look at them as opportunities, as Jacob did, to stop, to dream, and to glory in the splendor of the world. In dreams, Yeats quotes an older poem, in dreams begin responsibilities. Dreams are not free. They move us along to realizing these dreams in concrete ways. Early on, I was attracted to the phenomenon of religion in human history. My high school yearbook has me setting my goal as to teach religion. And this was a far cry from teaching Torah, the yeshiva model of teaching Torah. I wanted to somewhat understand the part religion has played in both our successes and failures in human evolution. For early on, I yearned for Jewish renewal. And when I was 25 years old, I met Reb Zalman Schachter, Olav Shalom, my Rebbe. He was a good match for us. We were good together. Because Reb Zalman Schachter Shalomi was intimately connected to both his and my roots in Poland. And like Reb Zalman, I chose to be called Reb Moshe, as he always did, called himself Reb Zalman. Reb is an honorific offered when one addresses another. It is not a title. I understand why we need the rabbi title, right? especially for those who are in the outer world, who want to know who we are. But in an organic community, when someone asks for the rabbi, Reb Moshe shows up. Sometimes the rabbi can't make it. Buddhist perspectives, people mentioned my affinity. Buddhist perspectives have made my life as a Jew much fuller. Buddhist teachings are very helpful, especially during periods of deep disappointment with God. Ich hab Rachmanis auf den alten Gott. I pity our old God. I have compassion. Perhaps all of our tsaras simply wore God out. These teachings have led me from the Rabbonu Shalom, Master of the Universe, to Gott in you, the little God who goes into your suffering with you. There is no Deus ex machina in the third act for the Jewish people. I offer my thanks to Sylvia Borstein, my teacher and friend, who helped me begin practicing meditation to achieve glimmers of insight in how to approach the unfolding of reality, what is right before your eyes. And that insight helped me define the divine in a palatable way. Our Nishmat Chaim Breath of Life meditation project, his teacher Bobby and Reggie and Sheila, was created as an act of thanksgiving to my teacher Sylvia, may she be well. So I also want to offer thanks for the life path that I was guided on. It allowed me many accomplishments. Fate led me to Tufts in 1974 as a part-time Hillel director, and there I met Ann. And 6 years later, we were married, and together we raised our 3 marvelous daughters. Other accomplishments took me very far from my family of origin. My tata dad was a grocer in Brooklyn. My mother, a sweet mommy who nurtured me and my brother Phil. They certainly had aspirations for us. We were expected to make it. Never to be a grocer, my father said. The American dream was still alive. And well into the post-war America, my mother and father arrived in 1949. My brother entered Yale in 1969. Pretty amazing. I was the first to go to college, to NYU, and then graduating from the Hebrew University in those heady days after the Six-Day War, to completing a PhD at Brandeis, to co-editing with my dear friend Bill Novak, the Big Book of Jewish Humor, which is still in print after 42 years. The success of the book paved a career for me in stand-up, storytelling, lecturing, performing, teaching, serving as scholar in residence in dozens of communities. For most of my adult life, I love to teach. You know, one of the blessings that I have in my path was that I met wonderful colleagues along the way, wonderful teachers, colleagues. And with these colleagues, I had some wonderful seminal experiences, visiting refuseniks in the former Soviet Union, meeting with Polish cardinals as solidarity was challenging the existing structures in Poland. And other stops in my path include being part of that group, founding the Jewish-Tibetan Buddhist dialogue with the Dalai Lama, the Ocean of Wisdom, great name, Ocean of Wisdom. And also later on traveling to Israel and Rome on a Jewish Catholic pilgrimage, visiting the Pope on the way home. The old joke is, liked him, didn't care for her. Okay. And then a 25-year stop here at TBZ following my smicha in 1996. As a non-denominational rabbi, I took on the lineages of 3 extraordinary sages. Reb Zalman, Olav Hashalom, Everett Gendler, Olav Hashalom, and Rabbi Arthur Green, Sheyibadel L'chaim Arukim, may he live long. Gloria and Irwin. I walked down an aisle here because I had arranged a bar mitzvah to be here. And you on the way in, they said, we're looking for a rabbi. And I said, you have a rabbi. So after the high holidays of that year, you called. Joe Willian was with you doing that, Olav Hashalom. And you really, we worked together as a team, really a team, very closely. And I think we accomplished something. What do you think? Yeah? Not too bad. Myra and Howard were there from the very beginning. And they said, you know, Reb Moshe, you're doing a lot of good stuff. You're running all over. You're doing gigs and things. You need a base. And then this marvelous thing happened, that there was a shul that said, you want to bring in your stuff in here? We'll make a deal. So one Shabbos I did the style of the old shul, right? Muttering as much as I could, right? Muttering was big in those days. And then I say, well, I need once a month to do what I want to do. Remember the first time they came here, November 15th, 1997. And we did a Nishmat Chaim, it was called Nishmat Chaim service, and people were astounded that, is this Judaism? Why are they quiet? Why are they meditating? Have they passed away? What's going on? There was a lot of consternation that there was too quiet, and then we sang and clapped hands, and that also scared the hell out of them. I want to thank all of you who are here, of course, those on Zoom, those in this building. There is no way to express my appreciation of all that you have done, how you have touched me over the years, how you have come together to build what I say an organic shul that's constantly evolving. We planted a sapling and continue to nurture it as it grows into a tree, an Eitz Chaim, a tree of life. There are many pioneers here who have approached me. I'm glad to see them after so many years. Our lay leadership has been devoted Kanahara, for 25 years. And I appreciate Sarah and Sue and Molly for their support over the years and planning this wonderful evening. But last but not least, thanks to Rav Claudia, Tiferet, Rav Tiferet, the staff, the interns we've had over the last 25 years who have maintained and enlarged TBZ as it moves into the future. I'm gratified that I was able to bring Rav Claudia to our community, and I'm proud that we created a vessel for her exuberant personality and her devotion to TBZ's commitment to be as open a shul as we can be. All of us who serve TBZ are proud that our foundational values of joyous celebration and our being Rodfei Tzedek, pursuers of justice, will be carried on into the future. As I retire from my role at TBZ, I don't retire from the community, my home for so many years. I hope to live long enough to see how our marvelous children who I have seen grow from infancy to adulthood over the last 25 years, make of their TBZ experience. Imagine growing up in a shul like ours. Wow. Just hope to stay alive to find out. And I am confident they will find their own ways, their own paths, and they too will trip over the stumbling stones of Jewish history. But I hope that they sign on to our best values, continuity and change. Now, there's something I want to say. I wasn't sure I would say it or not, but I sort of have to say it. It's based on the fact I've been depressed for a couple of months, as many of us are. The role of the synagogue is going to become so much more important in the near future, as it's going to be, of course, for the distant future. What am I upset about? I'm upset about it because I felt a sense of betrayal. My first reactions was betrayal. The Zionist dream was supposed to stop pogroms. No, we couldn't do it. We blew it in a very, very substantial way. The first days, if you remember, I'm watching Israeli television all day. The numbers mounting of people being killed. It's horrible. It was horrible. And the second, as a child of survivors, it sort of threw me back into like a Holocaust trauma. I just couldn't fathom it. This can't be happening 80 years after all these people were murdered and annihilated by people who had this crazy idea that somehow the Jew is the thorn in the society of the world, that somehow if you get rid of all the Jews, everybody will sing Kumbaya. That was the idea. The Jews are a thorn. I had an idea that we should all go on strike, all the Jews. Next month, we should get a date, okay? Pass it around. All Jews, leave what you're doing and see how maybe people will begin to appreciate the contributions we have made, the many contributions we have made to human civilization. And of course, then I got a second feeling of betrayal. And that was by the fact that I could not believe that many of our friends and neighbors seem to have wanted Hamas to be the face of the Palestinian people. Of all places to go for a face. Progressive saying, I want to support this progressive organization, Hamas, approved by the Better Business Bureau. Obviously great PR people because they've been able in these last 2 months to awaken a tremendous amount of Jew hatred around the world. Great PR. Horrible people. But they're human beings, and we are human beings. And after all is said and done, human beings are going to have to find a way to live together. going to be hard. I don't know. It's going to take a while to repair some stuff. Not easy. It's not going to go back to the way it was. And I really think that the shul has been a model of allowing people to face those facts. And remember, we're going to have a split in the Jewish community. We've always had a split in the Jewish community. One of the reasons we survived is because we don't agree about much. I remember at one of the meetings with the Dalai Lama, Larry Kushner, Rabbi Yitzhak Greenberg said, you know, we don't agree with each other. And he said, no, that's not right. Great line. As long as Jews don't fit into the progressive focus on diversity and inclusion, we will be seen as outsiders. We are guilty, for the most part, of having white skin. But by the way, there are more dark-skinned Jews in Israel than there are here. But also, more importantly, I've always felt that Jews were not white. Certainly before World War II, we weren't white, right? Colored people, Jews, and dogs, right? But it helped being white. Sure, it helped. Post-war period, we accomplished a lot. We became Parav. Really Parav. We became white bread. And you need fiber in your life. We got calm. You hear this? We got calm. Jews are calm. And you know that we thrive, and we all thrive on good tension, right? As I always say, you can't make a violin play if the strings are not tense. You can't do that. So I want to just conclude. We will not disappear. We will prosper. TBZ is a signpost for the future. Shuls that nurture an organic Yiddishkeit will be anchors of renewal and strengthening of our communities. And the darkness that surrounds us will be lightened by our joyous celebration, our commitments to each other, our concern for the world around us and its physical condition. We will continue to be a blessing for the world, a world that has benefited and continues to benefit from our contributions to the welfare of the world. And those who ignore this will not and cannot win. Am Yisrael Chai means that we have to support a living Judaism that points us to the future. And I'm grateful to be part of such a community. Thank you. Moshe in the middle.
For those of you who don't know us, I'm Jen Klein and Larry Krause. This is Larry Krause. We are the current co-presidents here at TBZ. And we are going to do what is the co-president's most important job, which is give the bar mitzvah boy his gifts.
I need a certificate.
But before I turn to Larry to do that, I just also want to say thank you. It is both our joy and our honor to serve this incredible community that you founded and has helped to build. And we just feel so lucky to sit here together and so lucky to serve this community. So thank you. So we have 3 gifts for you. They're a little bit different than most B'nai Mitzvah gifts.
Not cannabis.
Not cannabis. Just check.
Reb Moshe, before we give you gifts, let me say that you've given me quite a gift for the last 20 years, 22 years that we've been in community together. And we have davened together for a long time. We've worked together for a long time. We've done our best. I've done my best to serve this community for a long time. But it's with you. And people have heard me say, I think this community is building a sustainable and organic and authentic, a vibrant style of Judaism for the future. And it started with you. So, Yesher Koach, and thank you for letting me work with you, and thank you for all you've done.
And thank you for all of your help over the years. And thank you for all your help too.
So, After how many years? It's been many years. These really are literally tokens of appreciation. So these are tokens. Here's one.
Should I wait for more later on?
You can wait. You can wait. You have fun with that.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Hine. Here is one token for many l'chaims.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you'll like that one. It's the 15-year-old. Okay. We have also gotten you a gift certificate to Lehr House. So so people are on the inside. Okay, good. Lehr House is a tavern and a house of learning. It's not only the newest, coolest place to learn in a Jewish setting, but it's kosher.
Kosher.
Oi! And one of Esquire's 50 best new restaurants of 2023, the only kosher one ever to make the list.
Wow.
Yeah. So enjoy this. Enjoy.
I will.
Maybe you take your girlfriend. Okay.
And we thought about giving you another name tag, but you have one. We hope that you will use it for many years to come. But we thought a different gift would be appropriate. So we have a collection of people's reflections on how you have impacted their lives over the years. We hope this book brings you great joy and great pride. We're grateful for the community that you helped create. Many more reflections have come in after the book went to print. They'll be available online. You can access them whenever you want. So thank you.
Thank you.
And let me just also add my appreciation and Sarah, my appreciation to Anne, whose presence in this community has been extraordinarily important. Your warmth, your strength, your intuitive skills, your great Torah reading, which I've really been blessed with for years, has been greatly appreciated. So appreciation to you as well.
And if Anne hadn't taught me how to make hamantashen, I might not be standing here today.
Great recipe. Thank you, Sean.
One final blessing, very special one, in Yiddish and hopefully also in English, by a congregant. He wanted no other words said about him. A congregant, Alan Shapiro.
Alles ist gewesen gesagt. Everything has been said. Aber ich gehe es sagen auf Yiddish. I'm going to say it in Yiddish. Ich gehe dir erzählen eine Meise. I'm going to tell you a story. A paar Wochen vor, Molly hat mir geklingelt. A few weeks ago, Molly called me up. Sie hat gesagt zu mir, she said to me, Efter könnt man machen a Simcha für Moshe. Efter könnt du machen a paar Wörter auf Yiddish und machen a Bruche. She says, we're going to make a celebration for Moshe. Maybe you can, say some words in Yiddish and make a Bruche. Wo denn? Ich kann machen a paar Wörter auf Yiddish. I can say a few words of Yiddish. Aber a Bruche? Kenn nicht. Mal hat gesagt, ganz gut, it's also good, okay. Und ich habe gedacht, für was kann ich machen eine Brache auf meinen Freund Moshe? I thought, why can't I make a Brache auf Moshe? Also es hat gegangen, ganz der andere Weg. It went completely the other way. Es gewesen und ist eine Brache in mein Leben. Moshe is a blessing in my life. It's completely the other way. Du kannst fragen, du kannst ask, was für ein Bruch ist er? Ich gehe dir sagen. What kind of blessing was he? I'm going to tell you. Als Moshe hat gekommen zu TBZ, ich hat mitgekommen. When Moshe came to TBZ, I came with him. Kannst fragen, you can ask, für was? Why? Oh, du weißt, you know. Es ist so klick. Solch a Talmud Chochem, oi, frei gut nicht. Don't ask, he is so smart. He is a Talmud Chochem. He really knows, it backwards and forwards. Meine Antwort? Nicht. My answer? Not. Oi, ich weiß, jetzt weiß ich. Now I know. Davent so schnell mit a solchen Ruach. He davent so fast with such spirit. No. Singt so schön mit a Tam von einer anderen Zeit. He sings so beautifully with the taste of another time. Nochmal nicht, not. Verwus hast du gekommen? Why? For what reason? Why did you come? Bei mir, die wichtige Sache ist gewesen, ist ein Witz. For me, the most important thing is, Moshe was a wit, is a Witz. But me, no, a funny guy. Was suchst du? Das ist die wichtige Sache? Es ist ein Witz? That's the most important thing, that he's funny, that he's a wit? Ja. Chaverim. Hier sagt sie, my friends, listen. Meine Mama hat mir gesagt, als ich jung. My mother said to me when I was young, and here is from the Oi. Alles mit an Oi. Everything was with an Oi. Oi. Oi, mein Kind. Das Leben ist schwer. Und muss mir lachen. Als mir lacht nicht, muss mir weinen. My mother said to me, life is hard, and you must laugh. Because if you don't laugh, you will cry. Jetzt bin ich alt. Now I'm old. Sie hat recht. She was right. Ich hat sie viel geweint. I've cried too much. And Moshe's Bucher auf mein Leben ist gewesen, es gemacht mein Leben mehr freilich und simchadig. Moshe's blessing to me has been that he's made my life more freilich. And it means, merry. It's not. That's not what I'm talking about. He has lifted my heart. Und es gemacht simchadig. He made it joyous. Moshe, a schönem Dank für diesen Bruch auf mir. Und was ich hat jetzt gesucht, and it's a schönem Dank, a beautiful, beautiful thanks. A deep, deep gratitude, Moshe. Und mein Bruche, Mali sagt, der kann nicht machen, ein Bruche, das ist mein Bruche. Was ich hat gesucht, auf Jiddisch, alle von diesen Werten, das ist mein Bruche auf dir. All the words that I said in Yiddish, that's my blessing for Moshe. Aber ich muss sagen, eine Sache mehr. I have to say one thing more. Zu unser Rebbitzen, Chanasura. Anne, Herr Rebbitzen. In diesem Welt nicht solche Leute wie unser Chanale. In this world, there are not many people like Anne. Das weiß ich. That I know. Und bei dir, Reuchit, ein schönen Dank. Soll mir nur sei gesinnt. Gebete.
Thank you, Alan. So,
Reb Moshe,
wait,
you
we
have to speak on the
say it
mic.
into the mic.
I want to talk for a moment about Noam Center, just for a minute. When he started playing drums here at the beginning, he started a revolution, literally. People were saying, you play a drum in synagogues, particularly among the conservative and more traditional congregations. How could you allow that? I said, I needed the beat of the heart. And the drum is the beat of the heart. Now, of course, it's moved into Reb Moshe has brought us an orchestra. But the first drum beat was right here, and I'm glad that you're carrying it on. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you, Reb Moshe, and thank you, Ann, for lifting up our hearts. And actually, there's going to be some Freilach downstairs. So at this point, just really want to thank you all for being here, and it's been our honor, privilege to organize this this evening. And we have a number of thank yous in the program, which I hope you'll take a look at. So downstairs, there's something to eat and drink. Once you get some food and something to drink, Molly's going to give a toast, and then the party will begin. Just one quick note, a recording of this program will be available on TBZ's YouTube channel. Also, we want to grab a quick picture right afterwards with the past presidents of Reb Moshe and with your family, and everybody else is welcome to go downstairs. I think I can almost hear the musicians, or at least they're going to be playing when you arrive. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
We have to take this picture before we're allowed to move.